Welcome to day 5 of the 21-day weight loss challenge. Today, we're going to speak about relationships and the impact they have not only on our weight, but our overall health. And first of all, when you understand that as we explore the significant impact relationships have on health, we need to understand healthy relationships can provide emotional support and reduce stress and motivate us towards healthier behaviors. Um, Conversely, strained relationships can contribute to stress and unhealthy habits. So, really nurturing positive relationships is key to a balanced and healthy lifestyle. But first, I want to quote a little bit about the research and help you understand how your social relationships and your people in your life, either close or even people that are maybe 1 or 2 degrees away from you, let's say that the colleagues of your husband, for example, will affect his behavior, which will then, of course, affect your behavior. So let's talk about this a little bit. When we look at the research around relationships, number one is obesity and weight gain. So one of the most cited studies in what we call social contagion in health is by Nicholas Christakis and James Fowler, which found that obesity can be quote unquote contagious. And so the research published in the New England Journal of Medicine show that if one person becomes obese, the likelihood of a friend becoming obese increases significantly. And then even the friends of the friends. And I think it went out to 3 degrees. And then again, so the effect was observed to a lesser extent across friends of friends, but it still occurred. Smoking and alcohol consumption, for example. So similar patterns have been observed with smoking and alcohol. So social networks can influence individuals' behavior to either start or quit smoking, as well as alcohol use. So being surrounded by individuals who engage in those behaviors increases the likelihood that you will also partake. Exercise and physical activity. So when we think about positive health behaviors can also spread through social networks, studies have shown that exercise can be influenced by friends and family. So if a person takes up a regular physical activity, it can increase the probability that their social contacts will also do the same. Mental health. So when you look at mental health states, including depression and happiness, this can also be influenced by your social network. Research indicates that having social connections with individuals who have depressive symptoms can increase the risk of you developing similar symptoms. And conversely, happiness can also have that contagious effect. So, really think about who we're surrounding ourselves, especially when we're having times of struggle. So, if you're looking to need more positive impact in your life, you might want to be looking to engage more with those people that you always feel energized when you're with. Just some thoughts there. And then eating habits is another one. So, eating habits and dietary preferences are greatly influenced by our friends and family. So, people tend to adopt the similar eating patterns as those they spend time with, and we can impact our overall nutritional health. I always tell patients that you not only inherit your genetics from your family, but you inherit a lifestyle, right? You inherit the lifestyle of eating, traditions, celebrations, exercise, movement. You inherit a language, cultural identity, religious beliefs, so many things that we inherit. But eating patterns are a big one. So when people say, oh, my parents had diabetes, I'm just going to develop diabetes, it's almost like we're setting ourselves up to make that come true. But we need to understand there may be a propensity or someone may have an increased risk of developing diabetes or gaining weight or something else. But really, you have to put in context of a whole person's lifestyle, how much they're moving, what's their stress level, how are they sleeping, what are their relationships look like, do they actually partake in alcohol or smoke. So many other factors are involved here. So for someone just to say, oh, my parents had something, that means I'm going to get it, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. I really want you to just maybe think about that for a moment. And then I think also interesting when you think about health information and misinformation, right? So social contagion extends to the spread of health related information and misinformation. So the way people perceive health risk and their attitudes towards health interventions, like for example, vaccines, can be heavily influenced by their social network. And then stress and coping mechanisms. So stress and coping mechanisms can be socially contagious, believe it or not. So if you expose yourself to stressed individuals, you can increase your own stress levels. Similarly, coping strategies also seem to be adopted by those that you're around. Not that we shouldn't be around people who are stressed. We're meant to be there to support one another. But if you're always the one giving support and you're neglecting your own health and looking for people who can support you in turn, that can have a negative impact. So, when we speak to today's challenge, I wanted to just kind of share with you some of that research so you can start thinking about those relationships in your life that maybe we need to foster, maybe some that maybe we need to, go on their way. So I really feel there are seasons for certain friendships that they will come and go, and some you'll have lifelong, and some will be in for a short period of time, some for a short, more moderate period of time, but they all have their value. I'm not saying that you have to decide today, oh, I can't be friends with that person because they offer me nothing, but just want you to think about maybe there's some relationships that you know that if you foster, it'll benefit both of you. Just some ideas here. But today's action step is I want you to engage in a health focused conversation. So today's challenge is to have a meaningful and health focused conversation with a friend or family member. And this could be about your health goals, their health journey, or just a general discussion on healthy living. So here's some ideas or steps to how to approach this. One, choose the right person, right? So pick someone who is supportive and who you feel comfortable talking to about your health or their health. Two, you need to set a comfortable environment. Maybe this is in a relaxed setting, like during a walk or over a cup of tea. And be open and honest, right? So share your experiences and listen to theirs. Do some active listening where you're not formulating a response before they're even done with their sentences. Sit back and try to really understand what they're saying. Maybe reflect back to them. Okay, I hear what you're saying. You're saying that you want to do this, or ask them to do the same for you. Um, Maybe you say something and you're like, does that make sense? Or does that need further explanation? Do you understand maybe what I'm struggling with or what my goals would be? Just making sure that you understand each other and that you're speaking the same language and that they're comprehending what you're saying and vice versa is so very important. And then exchange ideas. So talk about healthy habits, challenges, and what works for both of you. And then offer and seek support, right? See how you can support each other in your health journeys. Maybe they become your partner, your walking partner at work, around at lunch, you walk around the building, or maybe you go for a hike on weekends, or maybe you go together with your families and you have a play date or where the parents are also playing. All sorts of things that you can do. So, be creative and think outside the box on how you can incorporate these healthy habits into your life. Another one might be cooking, for example. Maybe you get together with another family and you batch cook together. I know people who've done that, and it was been a phenomenal success because when you're bringing in the social component, but then you're also doing a healthy activity, the kids get involved, the parents have each other to support each other. It's turns into a wonderful experience. So back to the journaling as well, because each day has a journaling aspect of the exercise, because I think it's really important for us for self-reflection. So many of us just go hurry through our days that we don't sit and take time to just sit and reflect on how things will affect us or how they have affected us in the past, or maybe sit down and write down our goals or what our values that we want to partake in. Anyway, here's some ideas and some prompts. And if you haven't already downloaded the PDF, please check out drmarbus.com. I do have the download there that walks through the entire 21 days in case you can't make it for one of our videos. So think about this, maybe the impact of relationships. So how do your relationships impact your health and well-being? Okay, another idea is supportive behaviors. So what supportive behaviors have you observed in relationships that contribute to your health goals? Maybe about areas for improvement, right? So are there aspects of relationships that can be improved to better support your health journey or their health journey? Think about the value of conversation. So reflect on your conversation that you'll have with the person that you've chosen. What did you learn? How did it make you feel? Really think about those things. Like, how did it make you feel? Did that feeling last? Did you feel drained after the conversation? Did you feel energized after the conversation? We'd be really curious to just kind of reflect on that, because that will also help you understand maybe how you can approach the relationship. Maybe further conversations are needed, or maybe a change in the conversation. Again, just thinking about it. But then plans for nurturing relationships. How can you further nurture the relationships for your health and your well-being. So remember, it's not always about you giving. So many people give and support others, but they never take the time to ask for help or seek help. And I think that's so very important because you can get burnt out on providing care as a peer, as a friend. You can get exhausted. Each of us are dealing with our own stresses and problems and the thoughts in our minds, but we never really seek out sometimes help because we're afraid to burden others. But people want to be there for you. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. And that is today's day 5 of our weight loss challenge. I hope you find this helpful because remember, the whole idea of this challenge isn't just like stop eating as much and move more, which is typically the traditional conversation you would have with a healthcare professional. But I really wanted to show you there's so many aspects to healthy behaviors that will lead to weight loss that I want you to start marinating in different ideas and approach this in a different way. It doesn't have to be come from one of scarcity and where you feel like you're just barreling through, white knuckling it. No, this can be a really enjoyable experience because you're taking time to sit back and reflect and really hone in on those things that are valuable to you. We're discovering what's valuable to you in your health journey because remember, more healthy activities or habits, again, the beautiful benefit will be weight loss and getting to a healthy uh, weight, but also other things, diabetes improving, chronic disease like hypertension, high cholesterol, decreased risk for stroke and heart attack. All these things will occur. So thank you for joining me today. It was great speaking to you all or letting you hear me speak, I guess. But I know you could have other places in your day you could be. So thank you for spending some time with me here today. And I will be back tomorrow with day 6 of our challenge. Like I said before, if you haven't downloaded the PDF, go to drmarbus.com and you can download it for free. And all the days are spelled out there. And if you have any questions, feel free to email us and we're always happy to respond. So you guys have a beautiful, lovely day and a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow.